how do you build this record to kind of like keep growing? Because you want a hook to feel big. Can't believe these actually work still. As you see, I'm using the cheapest plugins you could find. The name of this track is called Still Not Feeling It, because I was like looking for a better synth.
This episode is being supported by Tape It. If you currently use voice notes to record your ideas, you should try Tape It instead.
And this song started off with just this loop.
Yeah.
This is like a doo-wop record I just found. I really loved this guy's voice. I love doo-wop. When I was a record collector, there's this one record shop in Philly that specialized in doo-wop and like rare 45s. And this is a song that I really loved. In Ableton, you can kind of, if you take a sample like this, you just move this around. It's always changing, right? So I was doing this like live on this record, and it was these weird stabs in this really pretty voice because the doo-wop singers had sick voices. So I just kind of was playing around with the stabs in Ableton looping, and then it came up with this loop. This is a break I found, so I'm like a record collector, right? So I just love this break. It's like a jazz funk record. I'm not gonna say
Do you assemble your own kind of body or library of breaks that you can dip into?
Yeah. I have a whole folder of just like breaks that I cut up into pieces. I have one that's like 30 minutes long. It's like maybe like 400 different breaks. And actually it's really time consuming, and now you don't need to do that because there's just download like funky breaks or whatever. There's like a million break sample libraries, but back in the day, I had to do the work. You had to like go vinyl shopping, and I'm not gonna lie, I got this MP3 because I was over the vinyl shopping at one point because all the songs are like online. You can just go to YouTube and just start listening to the records. A lot easier than going to competing with like other record collectors. But I love breaks. I love listening to like old funk and jazz records. So this is a sick break that I kind of chopped up into these pieces. So it's like, and then you add it with this. Give it a kick. Some effects, make it even weirder. And then the sub and the pad. It's just operator. Simple Ableton plugin. This is pre-Respace. It kind of sounds like a Respace, which is kind of like the most overused bass line there is right now, but I love it still. So this is the chorus. Dun, 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 dun. More kicks. This kick is better, actually. This song's really mixed really well.
And as you're building the track, is she listening to it and starting to think about vocal ideas? Or is she...
She kind of freestyles words. And honestly, sometimes I feel like the scratch is still what's going on here. Because sometimes you don't understand her mumbliness. But that's kind of her beauty. So she'll kind of like... She'll enunciate, but then she'll hear some words and then she'll just put them in there and they might not make sense. And then she kind of makes them make sense. And then she builds on that. But I always know... Like she always knows her timing. So when we're doing something, I give it to her. It's always going to be 16 bars, and then 16 bars chorus, and then 16 bars verse. She's very standard. She loves the math of it all. And if you give her that, you're going to have a better chance of getting a great hook out of her. When I gave it to her, very simple. It's layers and one synth bass line, and then as the song progresses and goes into like the pre-chorus, I added like different layers of synths. This is me doing like the pop arrangement. And then bigger drums and all the synths come in on the chorus.
If you, like so many of our guests, use voice notes to capture your ideas, you will love Tape It. It's the iPhone recording app designed specifically for musicians and songwriters. With Tape It, you can record straight from your lock screen, set markers, add notes, and even include photos of settings. Plus, there's Cloud Sync, you can import your old voice notes, and to stay on top of it all, Tape It has great labeling features like automatic instrument detection. And all of the above is free. If you currently use voice notes, switching to Tape It is a no-brainer. And there's more. If you upgrade to Tape It Pro, it uses 2 microphones on your iPhone along with gentler dynamic compression to give a much more natural sound than any of the usual apps. And we have a huge offer for you. 50% off Tape It Pro if you upgrade now. Just go to the app and select Tape Notes in the onboarding process or click the link in the description below.
Can't believe these actually work still. As you see, I'm using the cheapest plugins you can find. Fake Mellotron, that's Ableton preset. And then layer it with like big drums that feel, you know, some orchestra sounds.
And in terms of the tricks that you referred to that you'd learned from Dr. Luke and other people like that, I mean, are there any in this recording that you can illustrate and say, oh, well, that's something I picked up from so-and-so?
Yeah. Or I think just, you know, the simple things like, how do you build this record to kind of like keep growing? Because you want a hook to feel big. It's like I was showing you a minute ago, you just kind of keep adding like different pads, different synths. This is standard pop music as you can get. This plugin, this is the name of this track is called Still Not Feeling It, because I was like looking for a better synth. You can see it's called Still Not Feeling This Sound, but I never found one. This is as good as it got, and it worked, so whatever. So just add some pads, make it feel a little more like religious and bigger right here for the chorus. And then at the time, you know, Luke had a lot of like hip hop pop records with Juicy J, and just you add a big sub, make the trap part come in for the chorus, and that's the chorus. Give it everything. You put everything on at once. My drums. I think I took the drums out for this part. Little stems, and then everything goes back after the chorus is done. Let everything go, let it breathe for the post-chorus, and then back into the verse, and you use everything again. Keep it simple. The B section of the verse, you add some pads. The vocal sample comes in here. Chorus comes in right here. That's the pre-chorus, where she does kind of her opera voice. I set myself free. And then everything big for the chorus. Those are my like pop elements that everybody should learn. Really simple stuff. Yeah.